In this video, we're going to be testing some brand new tires and wheels for RC crawlers. These are the Baja Pro X from Proline. Now, there's RC four-wheel drive, and there's some other folks that offer this same pattern, but this is now Proline coming out in the 1.9. They've had it in the 2.2. This is now in the 1.9, and this is now in the Predator compound. So that means this has the potential to be one of the best 1.9 crawler tires out there. And so I'm going to put it to the test using my axial base camp, setting it up against some very common competitors to see just how good this tire is. If you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Troy. This is Roadside RC. You'll tend to find me crawling and bashing and drifting and racing, plus doing product review videos and how-tos. And today, I'm really excited. Ever since I first saw this tire pattern come available, I was like, I want it. But the truth is, I've always had kind of mixed results when it comes to like a RC four-wheel drive and their tread compounds. Like if I'm gonna buy the tire, if I'm gonna spend all the money to buy the tire and the fancy, look at these Trio wheels that come with it. Like, oh my gosh, that is looking good on there. If I'm spending all the money to buy this, I want it to perform good. I don't want it to just look scale. And so it looks absolutely amazing. I really hope it comes through in the video. I also put, if you follow me on Facebook and Instagram, I also put a short video out right as I assembled these. Assembly and everything was easy, and using these Trio beadlocks, I'll put links to the tires and the wheels down below in the video description. But we really need to know, all right, they look good, but do they perform well? So I am using the axial base camp. This is actually my son's truck. It does have a few modifications done to it. We've moved the battery and as much weight to the front as we can. We have some overdrive gears in it. We have a little bit of brass, a little bit of weight up front. Otherwise, pretty much stock base camp, except we really hacked the bumpers a lot, and I even hacked the body in order to make it shorter. What my son's been running is these stamped steel wheels along with these Proline BFG tires. Provide a link to them down below in the video description. They're cool, they look good, but man, these might look a little bit cooler so on this truck. So we're going to give them a shot. If you watch the channel, you'll know that I am a fan of these stock 1.9 TRX4 Canyon Trail tires. Once you cut them, and I have a video, I'll leave that in the video in the description below, there's a way that you cut these tires that really just transforms how they perform. So I'm a fan of those. So we're gonna get those. And then lastly, and probably this tire's biggest competition, is the Proline Trencher 1.9, also in the Predator compound. So I have these 4 sets of tires, all to see how this one Mickey Thompson Baja Pro X, how does it perform? So I'm going to go through a set of step obstacles in my normal crawler course and see how each one performs, and can we tell how much of a difference with this tire. One thing we need to be cognizant of course, as we're running this whole test, is there is a noticeable size difference here. So the BFGs, the TRX4 Canyon Trails, even the Trenchers, all pretty much the same size. I'd say the Canyon Trails are actually just slightly shorter when it comes to mounted up sitting here. But these Baja Pro X, clearly a few millimeters taller than the other ones. Now, it's not a crazy amount, right? It's not like this is some 2.2 sitting here or anything like that, but it is different. It is different. And when you look at the width, they are pretty much the widest tire of all of them, noticeably wider than the Trenchers, which looks like they're the narrowest, just a little bit wider than the TRX4s or the crawlers. So that is going to give this tire an advantage just out of the gate. Here we are back from the test. What are the final results of the Baja Pro versus the Trencher versus the TRX4 versus the Crawler? You know, can these brand new tires from Proline, can they stand up versus the competition? There's really two major things that stick out to me about these Baja Pro X versus the other tires that I tested. The first, of course, is the size. And just even looking here, even with that tire, you know, it is noticeably bigger than its brother, the Proline Trencher. I mean, noticeably. It's so much so that it really didn't fit this base camp very well. We had a lot of body rub, even just driving straight, not even under flex or anything. It was having a very noticeable amount of body rub. The second thing is, I think there's something to this pattern, especially as this tire is new, that actually is a hindrance for it. Because really, at the end of the day, these two tires, they're the same tread compound. They're obviously a different pattern, but they're made from the same rubber from the same company. They should have had very similar performance. I did notice, you know, the Trencher even did slip on the uphill rock. It slipped a little bit more than some of the other ones did, but this one was even worse. And I have to wonder if it's something about these little pop-ups right here on these treads. So the tread blocks aren't smooth. They actually have 3D nature to them. And if you're on a smooth rock, are you only touching on those raised surfaces and you're not really getting contact with the full lug and losing traction? So that's one thing I wonder. But really, I was surprised to see that these BFG crawlers did, and the TRX4 Canyon Trails both did just as good as these other two tires. Really kind of surprised me and still reinforces that these more budget-oriented tires can do really well. So for today, with where I'm driving and where we normally drive, I'm probably going to leave those BFG tires on this truck. That's what it's been running, and it's been doing pretty good with them. I'm curious to have a follow-up to this video, though, where I get this truck out more into woods, loamy, loose dirt, and I wonder if in that scenario, these would do really well. And that's because these BFG tires typically actually kind of clog up with mud, and in a more looser terrain actually do a little bit worse in my experience. I think these tires may actually really shine in that environment. But today on more slick rock and wood and that kind of a surface, these actually did much better, and they got a lot more surface area, got a lot more contact there in order to get that traction. So if you're looking for the next 1.9 crawler tire for your truck, I hope this video was useful for you. You know, those Proline Trenchers still tend to be one of my favorite kind of go-to tires, along with cut up TRX4 Canyon Trails. Nobody ever believes me. They always give them away for so cheap. I buy them, and they do really, really well. So those are still probably the two. If you're just looking for a bigger tire that's just gnarly looking, then this Baja Pro X is still going to perform well, especially in this Predator compound, but there might be other alternatives out there for you that actually perform even better. Thank you for watching. If you're curious about any of the other crawling stuff, how-to, technical videos, and all that I have made, there will be a playlist over here to your right, and you can go check them out there. So thank you, and goodbye.